Psalm 78 verse 1.
Psalm 78 verse 1.
Give ear,
Give ear,
all my people, to my Lord.
to my Lord.
Incline your ears
Incline your ears
to the words of my
to the
mouth.
word of my mouth.
Job chapter 6 verse 4.
Romans chapter 6 verse 4.
Hear, O Jacob,
Hear, O Jacob,
a higher our
a
power
higher power
is one power.
is one power.
Exodus chapter 20 verse 8.
Exodus chapter 20 verse 8.
Remember the Sabbath day
Remember the Sabbath day
to keep it holy.
to keep it holy.
Amen.
Amen.
Greetings from the brother Yochanan unto the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, of day of the patience of the kingdom of Yeshua, and also of the hope of the resurrection. My salutations with the hands unto the believers, saying Shalom.
Shalom, Israel.
And to the non-believers, we say repent, for the kingdom is at hand. Good afternoon. All right, Shalom, everyone.
Shalom.
All right, title of the lesson: Wonders of our highest creation. The third part 2, continues on this Sabbath lesson. So let's show more evidence, concerning the land that we are in. I'll be using more of the notes for this lesson. Deuteronomy 13, 6, 7. And let the mighty man begin to sound. Let's start there.
In this version, book of Deuteronomy, chapter 13, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
If thy brother,
Mm-hmm.
the son of thy mother,
Mm-hmm.
or thy son,
Mm-hmm.
or thy daughter,
Mm-hmm.
or the wife of thy bosom,
Now pay attention, read. Mm-hmm.
of thy friend,
Mm-hmm.
which is at thy own soul,
Mm-hmm.
enters thee secretly,
Mm-hmm.
saying,
Entice you secretly. Mm-hmm. Saying what?
let us go and serve other gods.
Let us go and serve other gods. So if your family member or your friend, in summary, tells you let us go and serve other gods in plural, pay attention. There's a reason why I'm reading this precept, because I'm going to the land of Israel, because most people don't believe that we're in the land of Israel. So I will show you that, even though in part 1 I show it to us, but I'll give us more information that we are still in the land. And because most people don't know that we are in the land, they are transgressing, forgotten that the reason why the Most High is plaguing the earth is because of sin. Israel have not come back to their origin. They have not realized that for the moment Israel return back to the Most High will return back to Israel, their heritage. It's very simple. Read. So there's a reason why I'm going here. Read.
Let us go and serve other gods.
So let us go and serve other gods. The power of strength and authority is you knowing who you are. If you don't know who you are destroyed. You have to know who you are. Your identity matters. Read. So let us go and serve other gods. Read.
Which thou hast not known,
Which you have not known.
thou, nor thy fathers.
So the Bible says, which you have not known, nor your fathers. 7.
Namely, of the gods.
So pay attention. Namely of the gods.
Of the people.
Of the people.
Which are round about you.
Which are round about you. You Israel. Remember, this prophecy is to Israel. So it says of the gods which are round about you. Read.
Nigh unto thee.
So it says the nations or the gods which are round about you. Nigh unto. So if nation is round about you, that means you are in the center. Not be so. So it says round about you, either the nations who worship all these fallen angels that are near unto you, or what?
Or far from thee.
Or far from thee.
From the one end of the earth.
So the Bible says from the one end of the earth. So when people read Ezekiel 5 verse 5, they get confused. So you have to complement Ezekiel 5:5 and Deuteronomy 13:6-7. When God said, I have set Jerusalem in the midst of the nations, it's not only Jerusalem, it's the whole kingdom of Israel. That's why I'm reading Deuteronomy 13. Deuteronomy 13 is the whole land of Israel. Not just Ezekiel 5:5 is only speaking about Jerusalem. So people will doubt it. But Deuteronomy 13 is speaking about the whole kingdom of Israel, the whole 12 tribe, the whole land, and Ile. The land given to the children of the sons of Jacob, the 12 tribes. So Deuteronomy 13 is confirming, you understand what I'm saying, that the true land of Israel, all nations surround the land of Israel, from the one end of the earth to the other end of the earth, meaning all over the world, all nations encompass Israel. That's why it says from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth. That means all the nations that worship fallen gods or fallen angels. God said you must not worship their God. All the nations that are close to you, which is nigh unto thee or far from thee, from the one end of the earth unto the other end of the earth. So Israel is in the midst of the earth. That's why you see. That's why you see in part 1. I show you the ancient map, show you the equator or the equinotalis or the equinotia. The equinotia or the equinotalis or the equinotia is the same thing as the equator. The equator is a pole drawn around the center of the earth. Is that understood? In order for you to know where the land of Israel is, the Most High God was giving us a map, a strategic map for those that are intelligent, for those that have the breath or the wisdom or the spirit to know if they can put two or two together. That's what the Bible says. Precept must be upon precept. That is the principles of understanding. I have said it times without number. If you want to understand the Most High God, if you want to serve the Most High God, if you want to draw nigh unto the Most High God, just like the book of James says, draw nigh unto the Most High, and he will draw nigh unto you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your heart, you double-minded. So if you want to draw nigh unto the Most High, to know the truth, because when you are dealing with the Most High, you are dealing with truth. So if you want to deal with truth, deal with the principles of understanding. Isaiah 28 verse 10 tells you, precept must be upon precept. So in order for me to know where is the land of Israel, okay, in my search and in my study, I figured out that when I link precept up, God was giving us a map. Not be so. God was giving us a geography to know where the land of Israel is. But people can't just figure it out. So those that they can figure it out, who the Most High has given the breath, because people must understand, everyone gift is not the same. Everyone has different gifts. Gifts are given by measure. Just as 2 Corinthians 10 verse 13 to 14 says, everyone is given the gift by measure. So there's a measure. Some have more, some have less. Paul also break it down in 1 Corinthians 12 verse 12 to 26. So the hand cannot say I have knowledge of the head. The head cannot say I have knowledge of the mouth. The eyes cannot say I have knowledge of the nose. You understand what I'm saying? Everything complements one another. That's why 1 Peter 4:9 says, use hospitality one to another without grudging. So use hospitality, the gift that's given to you. That's why you see when you read verse 10 to 11, it tells you of the gift. Use the gift. Peter make mention of it in 1 Peter 4 verse 9 to 10 to 11. So everyone has to give with measure. So don't be envious or be jealous because someone has information you don't have. You understand what I'm saying? Daniel has to learn from Jeremiah. Daniel learned from Jeremiah the prophet that Israel, that the kingdom of Judah, will serve 70 years under Nebuchadnezzar. Not be so. Daniel has to humble himself and look the most did it to Daniel. And yet Daniel was a prophet. Daniel has to go and read the book of Jeremiah, okay, to understand that Israel will serve 70 years under Nebuchadnezzar. Daniel humbled himself. And yet Daniel was a great prophet. So the key thing is to humble yourself. So some information, God don't reveal it to you. Give this given by measure. Verse 7, let's go. Deuteronomy 13:7, read it again.
Deuteronomy 13 verse 7. Namely, of the gods of the people which are round about you, near unto you, or far from thee, from one end of the earth, even unto the other ends of the earth.
Let's go. Jubilees 8 verse 18. Read.
King James Version, the book of Apocrypha, Jubilees 8 verse 18. And Noah rejoiced that his portion came forth from Shem, and for his sons.
And Noah rejoiced that this portion came forth for Shem and for his sons, meaning his posterity after him. Read.
And he remembered all that he has spoken with his mouth in prophecy.
Because Noah was a prophet. Read. That's the book of Tobit 4 verse 12 is there.
For he has said, blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and may the Lord dwell in the dwelling of Shem.
And may the Lord dwell in the dwelling of Shem. Remember, we are dealing with a map through scripture. Okay, breaking down the land of Israel. That's where we are in West Africa, Central Africa, East Africa, South Africa. Okay, is the true land. Sub-Saharan Africa, or Sub-Sahara, or Sub-Sahara Africa is the land of Israel. Okay, or Guinea Upper or Guinea Proper. The name has been changed so many times. Okay, but nowadays it's called Sub-Saharan Africa. That is to say, West Africa, Central Africa, East Africa, and Southern Africa is the true biblical portion given to the 12 tribes of Israel. Not Middle East. That's a fake land. Read.
Verse 19. And he knew that the Garden of Eden,
and one knew that the Garden of Eden, Jubilees 8:19, and one knew that the Garden of Eden, I've explained the garden. Noah will tell you what that garden means. Just pay attention, read.
And he knew that the Garden of Eden is the Holy of Holies.
And one knew that the Garden of Eden was the Holy of Holies. What is the Holy of Holies in the land of Judah, in Jerusalem? What is the Holy of Holies? Clap for your dad. So Noah knew that the Garden of Eden was the Holy of Holies. Like as I've told before, that it's not a garden of trees. Okay, it's a temple. That's New Jerusalem. Because the moment you pass the cherubims, okay, that the Most High place in the gate, that the Most High showed to John and to the prophet, you have entered the temple of the Most High God. That's why John said that his city had no need of what? Had no need of temple. There is no temple there or light. For the Most High God and Christ is the temple of it, and the glory of God who lighten it. That's Christ. Because New Jerusalem is the garden in Eden. That was the garden that the Most High planted in Eden, that the Most High revealed to Adam, that he make Adam enter to reign as a priest. Because that's the house of a priest. Just like Aaron, his house is the temple. Adam was a priest, so the temple to the house that Adam lived was New Jerusalem, which Genesis calls as garden. It's not a physical garden. There are similitudes of things, there are parables. So Noah is breaking it down. Read Jubilees 8:19.
And he knew that the Garden of Eden is the holy of holies.
So Noah knew that the Garden of Eden was the holy of holies, because the temple is not a physical garden of trees. So Noah knew this. Read.
And the dwelling of the Lord.
And the dwelling of the Lord, just like Solomon temple. Read.
And Mount Sinai, the center of the desert.
Now pay attention. And Mount Sinai, the center of the desert, meaning the center of the desert of the earth. Pay attention. Oh, read.
And Mount Zion.
And Mount Zion,
the center of the nerves of
the center of the navel of the earth. So Mount Zion is the center of the navel of the earth, the center of the navel of the earth. So I'm not making this up. So Mount Zion is in the center of the earth. That's why I go to Ezekiel. I have set Jerusalem in the midst of the nations that are round about her. Deuteronomy 13 let you know that the whole land of Israel, okay, is in the midst of all the nations, from the one end of the earth onto the other end of the earth. Is that understood? Now, let's go more. Like I've told you, for Israel, the true land of Israel is at the center of the earth. Now, when you look at world map, how do I know the center of the earth? Once you can find the equator, go and do your research. Once you can find the equator, that is where the land of Israel is. Okay, the land of Israel is not in Europe. The land of Israel is in Africa. That's why you see when you look at the 4 rivers of Eden, it tells you of what? Ethiopia. Not be so. Okay, let's read.
Jubilees 8:20. And he blessed the gods of gods, who had put the words of the Lord into his mouth, and the Lord forevermore.
Ezekiel 7:1. Let's go.
Book of Ezekiel, chapter 7, verse 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Also, thou son of man,
Thou son of man,
thus says the Lord God unto the land of Israel.
thus says the Lord God unto the land of Israel. Read.
An end.
An end. Pay attention. An end. I want to show us that we are in our land. I want to show the reason why we don't know that we are in our land. That in West Africa is our land. I want to show us the reason. What the Most High's word to Ezekiel the prophet. An end. Let's go.
The end is come upon the 4 corners of the land.
The end is come upon the 4 corners of the land, to the house of Israel, to the land of Israel. That is the 12 tribes. Verse 3. Read.
Now is the end come upon thee.
Now is the end come upon you, because God will discontinue us from our heritage. Our land is part of our heritage. That's why most of us don't know that we are in our land. Read.
And I will send my anger upon thee.
So God said, I will send my anger upon you. Now when God sends judgment, God can use any nation for judgment. Pay attention. Read.
And will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thy abominations.
And God said, I will recompense you all your abomination. I will repay you for all your sins that you are doing. As people are still doing to this day, doing Christmas, doing Easter, doing birthday, doing Children's Day, Father's Day, Mother's Day, Satan's Day, Ide Malud, Ide Kapi, Ide Fitri. God said, for all your abomination, since you choose not to return unto me, me myself I will punish you for your sin. All the abomination that you are doing, since you fail to realize who you are in captivity, you trust in man, it's not to trust in me. I will punish you for all your sins. Read. Is that it in verse 3? Verse 22, let's go. Verse 21.
Ezekiel 7 verse 21. And I will give unto the hands of the strangers for a prey.
Read it again very well.
Ezekiel 7 verse 21. And I will give it unto the hands of the strangers.
So God said, I will give your land. Remember, God said an end. An end is come. Now is the end come. So God said in verse 22 in the same Ezekiel 7, in verse 21, in the same Ezekiel chapter 7, he said, and now we give it. Give it means the land. The land in verse 2 and verse 3. And now we give it into the hands of the strangers for a prey. That's why you don't know that you are in your land. Because when the Gentiles took the land, I will show you what they did. But continue reading.
I will give it unto the hands of the strangers.
So God said, I will give your land into the hands of the strangers. Read.
For a prey.
For a prey. They will use your land as it please them. Because it will not be their possession. That's why God said, I will give it to them for a possession, for a prey. So now your land will not be owned by the Gentiles or the strangers, synonymous to Gentiles or heathen or pagans. Read.
And to the wicked of the earth.
And to the wicked of the earth as it is this day, because the wicked of the earth is Babylon, mystery Babylon the Great. Okay, the Roman Empire, the wicked of the earth, the Caucasians, Esau, the Edomite king of Rome. Read.
To the wicked of the earth for a spoil.
Yes.
And they shall pollute it.
And they shall pollute your land, O house of Israel. 22. Read.
Verse 22. My face will I turn also from them, and they shall pollute my secret place.
Do you know what God said? God said, I will turn my face away from you, Israel. Since you choose to celebrate the feast of the Gentiles, since you choose to worship all the gods that are round about you, okay, since you choose to worship the gods and serve the gods or the fallen angels that are round about you, okay, who are over the nations, God said, I will allow the Gentiles to come into my land, the land that I give to you, Israel. Sub-Saharan Africa, West Africa, Central Africa, East Africa, Southern Africa, and they will pollute it. They will use it as they like. They will spoil it. They will defile it. Let's go. Continue reading. We're going there.
Verse 22. My face will I turn also from them, and they shall pollute my secret place, for the robbers shall enter into it.
So God said, for the robber shall enter into it. That's what you see. When they possess your land, what they begin to do, they begin to steal artifacts, steal things, steal gold, steal diamond, steal vibranium, steal all the minerals of the earth. As you are seeing to this day, they are robbers, they are thieves. They steal, they loot. See what they did to South Africa. Okay, what they call the apartheid. Apartheid simply means separation. Is that understood? Continue reading.
Verse 23.
24.
Ezekiel 7 verse 24. Wherefore I will bring the walls of the Eden, and they shall possess their houses.
So God said, and he says, I will bring the walls. What verse is that?
Verse 24.
24. He says, wherefore I will bring the walls of the Gentiles or the heathen, and they shall possess their houses. The walls of the heathen, the wicked of the earth, or the robbers or the thieves, are the Edomite kings of Rome, the Caucasians. Okay, the fourth beast prophesied by Daniel 7:7. Okay, and verse 23 to 25. Read. They are the Romans, Roman Empire, the last kingdom that will be on the earth. That kingdom, okay, that dream that Nebuchadnezzar saw, where he saw one rock, which is Christ, came down and smote the image at his feet. That rock represents Christ. That image, that feet here, those 10 toes represent the last empire, the last kingdom, which is the Roman Empire, that is as strong as iron. Christ is that rock that will come and destroy that kingdom. At the last days, the feet represent the last days. Read.
Ezekiel 7 verse 24. Wherefore I will bring the walls of the Eden, and they shall possess their houses. And I will.
So take note. The Gentiles will possess our houses. Read.
I will also make the pumps of the strongs to cease, and their holy place shall be defiled. Verse 25. Destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace. And they shall not be.
So God said that the destruction is coming, and they shall seek peace. They are looking for peace as it is this day. Pastor, pray for us. Let there be peace in the land. God said that you shall seek peace. There will be no peace. As it is this day. That's why you have to deal with the whole book of the scriptures, because the prophet always speak about the end. They will seek peace. Israel will seek peace. There shall be no peace. They will say your canal. This one are Old Testament. Okay, let's see. Continue reading. Continue reading. Start stopping 26.
Ezekiel 7 verse 26. Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor.
So God said, evil shall come upon evil. Another one for mischief is evil. So God said there will be no peace. But rather, evil will come upon evil. There will be evil all day long. That's why God told Israel in Deuteronomy 28 verse 65 to 66, I will give you no rest. I will give you no rest at the sole of your foot. When it is morning, you will wish it is evening. And when it is evening, you will wish it is morning. You will not have assurance of your life. Israel will not have assurance of their life. That's why you see every single day, everyone is fearing. Read.
Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumors.
Yes.
Then shall they seek a vision of the prophets, but the law shall perish from the priest.
Then shall they seek the law. Then shall they seek a vision from the prophets, but the law shall perish from the priest. Because the priests that you have today are not dealing with the law. In truth, they are liars. That's why they don't know what is going on the earth. They don't know. They're not mumblers. The true cause, the true origin of the problem, they're not telling you the true origin. Okay, because here is the true origin. Read.
But the law shall perish from the priest, and counsel from the ancients.
And counsel from the ancient, the old men. Psalm 49 verse 1.
Book of Psalm, chapter 49, verse 3.
Psalm 49 verse 1, let's go.
Verse 1. To the chief musician, a psalm for the song of Korah. Hear this, all ye people. Give ye.
Now pay attention. Hear this, all ye people, and give ear.
All ye habitation of the earth.
So it says, all ye inhabitants of the world. So every single person that exists in the world, all over the world, give ear. So this is not just only to Israel. I want to show you the mindset of those that have wealth, or those that possess things. Pay attention. Remember, God said in the book of Ezekiel 7, verse 2 to 3, and verse 21 to 23, that we give your land to the hands of the heathen, or the Gentiles, or the pagan, and they will possess your land, and they will despoil it. Let me now show you the mindset of the Gentiles. David is speaking to all the inhabitants of the world, whether it is Israel or Gentiles. Pay attention. Read. Verse 2.
Both low and high.
Both low and high.
Rich and poor.
Both rich and poor. This is the mindset. Everyone listen. Read.
Together. Verse 3. My mouth shall speak of wisdom.
My mouth shall speak of wisdom. See, let me tell you how the rich people reason. Read.
My mouth shall speak of wisdom. And the meditation of my heart shall be of understanding.
Verse 6. Let's go.
Verse 6. They that trust in their wealth. And boast themselves in the multitude of their riches.
So these are for those that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches. Like as the Master was telling Ezekiel, I'm giving you through David the mindset of those that possess things. They begin to boast and get proud. That's why God called them the worst of the hidden. Okay, the wicked of the earth. As you see in the Nebuchadnezzar Act, okay, in the book of Daniel, don't be so. In Daniel 4. Nebuchadnezzar begin to act very proud. Don't be so. Let's read. Read.
Verse 7. None of them can be by any means redeem his brother, nor give to God a ransom for him. Verse 8. For the redemption of their soul is precious, and he causeth forever.
And he sees it forever. Read.
Verse 9. That he should still live forever and not see corruption. Verse 10. For he said that wise men die.
For he said that wise men die.
Likewise, the fools.
And the brutish person perish.
And leave their wealth to others.
Let's go.
Verse 11. Their inward thought this.
So the Bible said their inward thought is this. This is their inward thought. So this is the inward thought for those that have money, that possess land. These are the reason. Read.
That their houses shall continue forever.
When they give you democracy, they're not free. You are not free. You are still tributaries. Because their inward thought is that the land that God gives to them, the true land of Israel, that God gives to the Gentiles, they won't leave it for you. Because they know that the true land of Israel is possessed with minerals. There are minerals there. They won't leave you alone. Okay, democracy is a mind game. It's a philosophy. It's a trick. You are not free. There's nothing democratic about the rule there. It's a trick by the Caucasians, the Oyibo. It's a trick that they deal with you. They won't leave you alone because this is their inward thoughts. Let's go verse 11. Psalm 49:11.
Their inward thought is
Their inward thought is this. Let's go.
that their houses
That their houses, remember God told Israel in Ezekiel 7, I will give your houses to the Gentiles. So you are telling me that the land of Israel that God blessed with milk and honey, meaning all the minerals of the earth with the animals, God not give it to the Gentiles because Israel sinned. And you think that the Gentiles will let you go for free. Read.
their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
So their inward thought is that their houses that God gave to them, it has now become their own, shall continue forever. Read.
And their dwelling places to all generations.
And their dwelling places to all generations. As you are seeing this day, they exist everywhere. They have businesses everywhere. Okay, because these Gentiles, they control everything. Read.
They call their lands after their own name.
They call their lands after their own name. That's what you see when they took us into slavery. Okay, let me show you what they did. They called their lands after their own name. This one, Nigeria. Nigeria is from the word Niger. Niger is a Latin word. Okay, that language Niger has nothing to do with the tongue of the natives. That's the Israelite. Niger is not Israelite tongue. It's not the ancient Ifrit tongue. Not so. Because Niger is a foreign tongue. It's a colonized tongue. That the Gentiles that possess our land, okay, did. Is that understood? Joel 3 verse 1. Pay attention, oh. Joel 3 verse 1. I'm showing you a map of Israel. Joel 3, 1 to 3. Let's go.
Version, Book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 1. For behold,
For behold, pay attention. For behold, read.
in those days, and in that time,
which is now gone,
when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah,
when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah, because we are still in captivity. So God said at the end of days, in those days and in that time, when I shall return again the captivity of Judah, because we are still in captivity. Read.
when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. Verse 2. I will also gather all nations.
So God said, I will also gather all nations. I will also gather all nations. Do what?
And we bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
And I will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Now, why is Christ saying I will gather all nations? Because you must understand that Israel is in all nations. So God will bring back the captivity of us, that He used the Gentile to punish us because we break His commandment. So those that will return back to the commandment, God will gather them from all nations. Those that are in diaspora, those that are not in the land, those that are in the foreign land, like Babylon, for instance, the New World, America, okay, North America, Central America, South America, Europe, Asia. So those that are there, that can't come back because they don't have money to come back to the promised land, which is sub-Saharan Africa. Christ will do what? Gather them for the four winds of the earth. Not so. So these are those that Christ is speaking about, not us that are already in the land. So these are for our brothers that were taken into captivity from west coast of Africa, Central Africa, East Africa, and South Africa, and we're taken overseas. So Christ said, I will gather all nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. This is about the end when Christ return. Read.
And we plead with them.
The word plead there is fight or judge. Okay, look your strong concordance. The word plead there is not to beg. The word plead there is to fight. And I will plead with them with what? Let's go.
Therefore, my people.
So God said, and I will plead or I will fight with these Gentiles or this heathen for my people Israel. Let's go.
And for my heritage Israel.
For my people and for my heritage Israel. So God's people and heritage is Israel. Read.
Who they have scattered.
Whom they have done what?
Who they have scattered.
Whom they have done what?
Who they have scattered.
All the men who they have done what?
Who they have scattered.
Whom they have scattered. So they have scattered my heritage. So God said in the last days that I the most I will gather those my heritage Israel that they have scattered. Read. Where?
Among the nations.
Among the nations. So I will bring those that have scattered at the last days. So Israel is still in all the nations. Read.
And aparted my land.
And do what?
And aparted my land.
And do what?
And aparted my land.
All the men and do what?
And aparted my land.
So now pay attention. So when the Most High give the land of Israel to the Gentiles, like Ezekiel 7:21 to 23 says, to the wicked of the earth, the worst of the hidden, and to the robbers. So when they possess our land, they part our land. They split it. This one Nigeria, this one Togo, this one Ghana, this one Senegal. This one Gabon, this one Congo, this one Ethiopia, this one South Africa. They did what? They colonized and changed the name. That's why David said they call their land after their own name. So the land that they possess, they people do what? Change the names. So before they change the name, they divide the land. Is that understood? It's one region. Israel is a big land. So all this why the Most High God gives us a map through scriptures that look, Israel and end is come. The end is come to your land. So therefore the Gentiles, they will possess your land and they will part your land. They will split your land and they will do what? Name it after their own name. That's what you see. Most people today don't know that we're in the land of Israel. They say, I'm in Nigeria, I'm a Togolese. Nigeria is not the language of the natives of Israel. Okay, Nigeria, the etymology of Nigeria is a foreign tongue. Okay, by who? By the colonizers. Because these colonizers are the Gentiles. Okay, the words of the heathens. Okay, the chief Edom, number 1 in Psalm 3 verse 6. Okay, that's what you see. Last Sabbath, I show you the map, okay, of the 7 nations that divide Africa to themselves. They divide the land, they divide Africa to themselves. 7 nations divide Africa to themselves. Because these 7 nations are Europeans. Okay, they are Edom, number one enemy. Is that understood? Okay, this Edom, they are the Edomite kings of Rome. They are our twin pathological. They are our pathological twin, Esau. Is that understood? Now for this, Zechariah 14, verse 1 to 4. So I want to show us a mystery here. That even though the Most High said that an end is come to the land of Israel, and it will scatter Israel throughout the 4 winds of the earth, I want to show that there will still be a remnant in the land. That's who we are this day. We have to read. In these last days, just as God said in the book of Joel 3, that in the last days, in those days, and in that time, when I bring again the captivity, so these one are those that went into captivity. I want to show you that it's not all that were taken into captivity. Some were still left in the land. Read. That's why you see in this lesson, wonders of our creation, the third part are still here. That's why I tell you there will be a third part that will be saved. There will be a third part, and out of the third part, there will be a remnant that will be saved. And there will be third part in various levels that will be destroyed throughout the 4 winds of the earth. We are going there. Third part 2 on this about lesson. Read. Zechariah 14 verse 1.
Zechariah 14 verse 1.
Behold,
the day of the Lord cometh.
So behold, the day of the Lord cometh. Read, this is the end of days. Okay, when Christ will come the second time. Read.
Behold, the day of the Lord cometh.
Now remember, complement Zechariah 14 with Joel 3 verse 1. When I bring back again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. That's Joel 3 verse 1. Link it up to Zechariah 14. Read. Study the prophets. They speak about the end. Read.
And their spoil shall be divided in the midst.
So God said, behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and your spoil shall be divided in the midst of you. Read.
For how we gather all nations.
For how we gather all nations
against Jerusalem.
Against Jerusalem to battle. Read.
And the city shall be taken.
And the city shall be taken. Pay attention, no. So our land shall be taken. Pay attention. Read.
And the house
refouled.
And the women.
And the houses refouled. And the women ravished.
And half of the city.
And what?
And half of the city.
And what?
And half of the city.
All the men are what?
And half of the city.
No, hold the whole city.
And half of the city.
So God said half of the city shall do what?
Shall go forth unto captivity.
So God said, what read it again?
And half of the city.
So God said half of Israel will go into captivity. So when half go into captivity, the remaining half will go. Come for your I don't want people are confused. Come for him. It's not simple to understand. So God said half of the city shall go into captivity. So when half go into captivity, is that full? No, because the remaining half will still be in the land. Remember, this is the last days. That's who we are here. We are still in the land. Read. But your son said, but we don't know over the years because our ancestors were colonized during the slave trade. Because the Gentiles, when they took our land, they divided it and renamed it and forced their name on us. They beat us. That's why you see over the years, I showed us the Willie syndrome. Not be so. I showed us what Willie Lynch did. Read.
And half of the city
Uh-huh.
shall go forth into captivity.
You just have saying they forced their name on us. They change everything. Read.
And the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city.
No. Did you just say that? So Christ said that, and the residue of those that are still there will not be cut off. Because there will still be a remnant and an awakening. Because the half of the city that are there, the parts that remain there, okay, there will be a remnant. That's why God said they will not be cut off from there. Read.
Then shall the Lord go forth and fight against those nations,
Then shall the Most High go forth and fight against those nations. This Christ coming. Read.
as when he fought in the day of battle.
As when he fought in the day of battle. Read.
Verse 4.
Uh-huh.
And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives.
And Christ's feet shall stand on that day on the Mount of Olives. Not be so.
Yes, sir.
Give me the book of Luke, chapter 24, verse 49.
The book of Luke, chapter 24, verse 49. And behold, I send the promise of the Father, my Father,
Yes.
upon you.
Yes.
But tarry ye in the city of Jerusalem.
But stay you in the city of Jerusalem until you be endued with power from on high. 50.
And he lead them.
And Christ led his disciples out as far as Bethany. Pay attention to Christ led disciples as far as to Bethany. Let's go.
And he lifted up his hand
So Christ lifted up his hand and do what?
and blessed them.
And blessed them. Read on.
And it came to pass,
And it came to pass at Bethany.
while he blessed them,
While Christ blessed his disciples at Bethany.
he was apart from them
Christ was parted from them.
and carried up into heaven.
And carried up into heaven. Acts chapter 1 verse 11. Let's go to 12. Before Acts 1 11 to 12, give me Luke 19 28 to 29.
In the version of the book of Luke 19, verse 28.
Read.
And when he had thus spoken,
Yes.
he went before, ascend up to Jerusalem.
Ascending up to Jerusalem. Verse 29. Read.
And it came to pass, when he was come,
So and it came to pass when he, Christ, was come near to Bethphage and Bethany. At where?
at the mount of called the Mount of Olives.
At where?
At the mount called the Mount of Olives.
So Bethany is at the Mount of Olives. Don't be so. I want to make that very clear. Acts 1 verse 9.
Book of Acts, chapter 1, verse 9. And when he spoke these things, while they beheld, he was taken up,
So Christ was taken up from his disciples. So let it not be so. Read.
and a cloud received him out of their sight. And 10. And while they looked steadfast towards heaven, as he went up, behold, two men stood by them.
So behold, two men stood by the disciples of Christ. I want to show you that Bethany is Mount of Olives, where Christ ascended. That's the same region where Christ will descend. Continue reading.
Two men stood by them in white apparels.
Two men stood by the disciples in white apparel. Read.
Which
Now the reason why I'm reading this precept is to show you what Zechariah 14 verse 4 is telling you. It tells you that on that day, his feet shall stand on the Mount of Olives. Because that's where Christ ascended. Zechariah is telling you that same region Christ will descend and gather all nations to battle with Jerusalem, to bring back again the captivity. Because half of the city will still be in the land. Then there will be a half toward the four winds of the earth that Christ will gather. So pay attention to the map. Precept upon precept. Read.
Acts 1 verse 11. Which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stay ye gaze up into heaven? This same Christ,
Why you getting up into heaven? This same Christ you see ascending.
which is taken up from you into heaven,
Yes.
shall also come in like manner,
Shall also come in like manner.
as ye have seen him go.
As you have seen him go towards the heaven, in the same manner you will see him come in the same region where Christ ascended. That's what Zechariah tells you in verse 4. And his feet shall stand on that day at the Mount of Olives, because that was the region where he ascended. That is the same region Christ will descend. That's what the angel or the two men is telling Christ's disciples. Okay, not be so. Read.
Verse 12. Then returned they unto Jerusalem.
Then returned they unto Jerusalem. Let's go.
From the mount called Olive.
From the mount called Olive. Or Olivet, same thing. Mount Olivet or Mount Olive. Read.
Which is from Jerusalem, a Sabbath day journey.
A Sabbath day's journey. 1 day journey. So therefore, from Mount Olive to Jerusalem is 1 day journey. Because our kingdom is very big. It's very huge. Not be so. Therefore, it is 24 hours journey. Within the kingdom of Judah, from Mount Olive to Jerusalem is 1 day journey. Now, do you see how big our land is? Very big. Now, this just only Judah. This just only the kingdom of Judah. I have not even mentioned Israel. Remember, during Christ's time was the kingdom of Judah. That is Judah, Benjamin, Levi. So they just half of the kingdom. And it's very huge. 1 day journey from Mount Olive to Jerusalem. Zechariah 14, let's go back there. Verse 4.
Book of Zechariah, chapter 14, verse 4. And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olive, which is before Jerusalem, on the east. And the Mount of Olive shall cleave in the midst thereof, towards the east, and towards the west. And there shall be a very great valley. And half of the mountains shall remove towards the north, and half of it towards the south.
2 Ezra 6:47.
Upon the 5th day, thou say unto the 7th part,
Thou say unto the 7th part, read.
where the water were gathered, that it should bring forth living creatures.
So now Ezra is speaking about creation. The same thing you find in Genesis 1. So on the 5th day, thou say unto the 7th part, where the waters were gathered, that it should bring forth living creatures, fowls and fishes. And so it came to pass for the 8th, read.
For the dumb water and without life brought forth living things, at the commandment of God,
Read.
that all people might praise.
Praise thy wondrous work. 49.
Verse 49. Then
Then did thou ordain.
two living creatures,
Then did thou ordain 2 living creatures.
the one thou called Enoch,
The one that called Enoch or Behemoth. That's the original word there. Behemoth. Let's go.
and the other Leviathan.
And the other Leviathan. Read.
Verse 50. And these separate the one from the other.
So God separates Behemoth and Leviathan, one from the other. Pay attention, read.
For the 7th part,
For the 7 parts, namely,
where the water was gathered together,
where the waters were gathered together,
might not hold them both.
might not hold them both. So that means one region was giving one the water, and that region was giving one the land. Read. 51.
Unto Enoch, thou givest one part,
Enoch is Behemoth. So unto Behemoth, that gave 1 part. Read.
which was driven up the third
Which
part,
was dried up the 3rd day. Read.
that he should dwell in the same part,
That he should dwell in the same parts. Where what?
where are that 1,000
Wherein?
hills,
Wherein?
wherein are 1,000 hills.
Wherein are 1,000 hills? Now take it to 1,000 hills. I want to show you what region of the earth where you will find 1,000 hills. But before that, continue reading. Pay attention, the true land of Israel. So God made this creature dwell in a part where there is 1,000 hills, in a land where there is 1,000 hills. Remember, land is a geography, a space or a region that must belong to a bit of people. So this beast or this huge monster called Behemoth that God will use to punish the Gentiles at the last days, God made this huge creature to dwell in a land where there is 1,000 hills. We'll come back there. Continue reading.
Verse 52. But unto Leviathan, thus givest the 7th part,
But unto Leviathan, whom your Gentile call Godzilla. Read.
thou givest the 7th part,
Yes.
namely,
Namely, the moist,
and hast kept him to be
devoured.
to whom thou wilt,
Uh-huh.
and when.
And when? Read.
Verse 53. Upon the 6th day,
Uh-huh.
thou givest commandment unto the earth, that before thee it should bring forth beasts.
Beast, that's enough there. Psalm 50, let's go. We'll come back there. I will show you a land of 1,000 hills. Let's go. Psalm 50, verse 1 to 2.
Book of Psalm 50, verse 1 to 2. A psalms of Asaph.
A Psalms of Asaph, or a song of Asaph. The mighty God, even the Lord has spoken. Read.
And called the earth
Yes.
from the rising of the sun.
So God called the earth from the rising of the sun, because when the sun rises, the sun lift up when the sun rises in his travel, the first region where the sun shines forth is Jerusalem. That's where the sun rises from. Read.
Called the earth from the rising of the sun unto the going
Pay
down.
attention. And call the sun and call the earth from the rising of the sun. So God called the earth from the rising of the sun unto the going down thereof. Out of where?
Out of Zion.
Out of where?
Out of Zion.
Out of where?
Out of Zion.
Out of all the men.
Out of Zion.
So I'm not making this up. The sun begins out of Zion. That is Jerusalem, from the center of the earth. From the center of the navel of the earth. That's what Jubilees 8:19 tells you. And Jerusalem is the center and the navel of the earth. I have set Israel in the midst of the nations. Ezekiel 5:5. Deuteronomy 13:6-7. Israel is in the midst of all nations that are round about her, from one end of the earth unto the other end of the earth. Pay attention, I'm giving you a map through scripture to show you the true land of Israel. And the reason why you living in Nigeria, in West Africa, those know that where you are living is the true land. Because the Gentile, when they took our land that God gave to them to possess it, they divide it and call it after their own name. That's why you don't know that you are living in your land. That's why you think that you are Igbo or that you are living in the land of Nigeria. Because the Gentile give that name to you. Nigeria, the etymology of Nigeria, the tongue has no business with the native language. Because Nigeria is a foreign language. It's not the native tongue. You yourself say that tongue is a tongue from colonizers, oppressor, tyrants. Read. Verse 2 again, let's go.
Psalm 50 verse 2.
Psalm 50 verse 2, let's go.
Out of Zion.
Out of Zion.
The perfection of beauty.
The what?
The perfection of
the perfection of beauty. That's why they won't leave you alone. Because Zion, Israel, Jerusalem is the perfection of beauty. They won't leave you alone. Damn democracy. They won't leave you alone. It's a trick. People don't know what is going on. The reason why you are being oppressed, they won't leave you alone. They are tricky Gentiles. Read.
Out of Zion.
Yeah.
The perfection of beauty.
Yes.
God has shined.
God has shined. Because that's where the sun rises from. God shine from true Zion. That's where the sun begins his journey.
Our God shall come.
So the Bible says our God shall come.
And shall not keep silence.
And shall not keep silent for the oppression and the wickedness that is done in the earth. Read.
A fire shall devour before him.
A fire shall devour before the Most High God when he return. Read.
And it shall be very
temperance. Run about him. Verse 10. The key points. Pay attention, oh.
Verse 10.
Verse 10.
For every beast of the forest is mine. Is mine.
So God said, for every beast of the forest is mine. Read.
And the cattle upon 1,000.
And the cattle upon where?
1,000 hills.
And the cattle where?
Upon 1,000 hills.
And the cattle upon 1,000 hills. Now let me show you where 1,000 hills is from. Let's go to Google and just type land of 1,000 hills. Let's see what region or what country it will bring out. Pay attention, just watch this. And now, some of I want you to read this for me. This is from Google, as you can see on the screen. Okay, what country? You can see the search type. What country has 1,000 hills? The scripture is giving you a map. Now watch this. I want to read this for me. Read this.
With a population of 12.95 million.
Now pay attention. With a population of 12 point what?
5 million.
12 point what?
95 million.
95 million. Read on.
Rwanda.
Read.
Also known.
Anybody can go to Google. Don't believe me. Go to the Bible speak about 1,000 hills. Go to Google. Remember, it's out of Zion. Now read it again.
With a population
of
12.95 million.
Rwanda.
Also known as the land of 1,000 hills.
So the Bible says Rwanda, also known as what?
The land of 1,000 hills.
Also known as what?
As the land of 1,000 hills.
What do you mean as what?
Also known as the land of 1,000 hills.
Also known as what? So Rwanda is also known as a land of 1,000 hills. Is geographically small, but comes with so much to offer. The reason why it is geographically small, because they divide our land, as I've shown in Joel 3 verse 3. The whole place is one region. Now the key thing is, where is Rwanda in the map? Let's not type it. Rwanda. Where is Rwanda in the map? Because I've told you, West Africa, Central Africa, East Africa, South Africa is the true land of Israel. Pay attention. So they don't say your car is making this up. Where is Rwanda? I'm typing it on Google. Where is Rwanda? What coast? Excuse me. What coast is Rwanda? Let's use that search. What coast is Rwanda? Pay attention. Anyone can do this research. Now read this for me. Read what you see on the screen. Put it close to your mouth.
Rwanda, warmly known as the land of 1,000 hills.
Now, mind you, I didn't even type is Rwanda a land of 1,000 hills. I type in Google. What cause is Rwanda? Yes, see what Google is defining. Read. Rwanda.
Warmly known
as
the land of 1,000 hills.
As a land of 1,000 hills. I didn't type that though. I'm not talking of the coast. What region? Yet Google is telling me that Rwanda is known as the land of 1,000 hills. As the Bible said in 2 Ezra 6, verse 47 to 53, and in the book of Psalms 50, verse 10. Out of Zion, read.
Warmly known as the land of 1,000 hills.
Warmly known as a land of 1,000 hills. Read.
He is suited in east.
He is suited in what?
East.
Let me see that word here. Situated. Is what?
Situated in east.
Is situated. That means the region or the location. That's where the land sits on the earth. So therefore, is situated where?
In east.
In east where?
Central Africa.
East Central Africa. So Rwanda is East Central Africa. East Central Africa. Read.
It lies 121 kilometers.
So Rwanda lies on how many kilometers?
121 kilometers.
121 kilometers. Continue reading.
South.
South where?
75 miles.
South 75 miles from where?
Of the equator.
Of the where?
Of the equator.
Of the where?
Of the equator.
Of the where?
Of the equator.
All the men of the where?
Of the equator.
Of the what?
Of the equator.
Of the equator. Because the equator is the center of the earth. That's the land of Israel. Center of the earth. Mount Zion, the center and navel of the earth. Your data knows this, but they lie to you. That the true land of Israel is in the Middle East. You understand? That's what the Bible says. Study to show yourself approved. Study. People don't study. They trust in man too much. Because the Bible is making very clear that Rwanda, a land of 1,000 hills, is where? Is at the equator. Not so. And the equator is at the center of the earth. Not so. Confirm. There's no mistake here. Is that understood? Now, Enoch 67 to 8. Just to portray 2 Ezra 6, verse 47 to 53, and Psalm 50, verse 1 to 2, and verse 10. Okay, and by the research that we have done to show you that Rwanda is among the land of Israel. That's why Joel 3 verse 3 says, who have done what? Parted my land. They part our land. As a matter of fact, go back to that Joel 3. You read something there. There's something I want to read there. Because not only did they part our land, they sold us out. Okay, for nothing, for drink, for just simple things. In slavery. Let's go there before you give me Enoch. I want Enoch though. Enoch 67, top parable. But let's deal with Joel first, and then come back here.
Joel 3 verse 2.
Uh-huh.
And we also gather all nations.
Yes.
And we bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Yes, that's about the end. Mm-hmm.
And we plead with them.
The word plead there is to fight or to judge. Mm-hmm.
We plead with them there.
Mm-hmm.
There for my people.
Mm-hmm.
And for my heritage.
So God's people and his heritage is who?
Israel.
Israel. So God's people and heritage is Israel. God will defend us in this land. Where we are. The remnant that are here. Read.
Whom they have scattered among the nations.
Whom they have scattered among the nations. So they took us into captivity. Like Zechariah 14 verse 1 to 4 says. And like Deuteronomy 28 verse 64 says, God said, I will send you toward the four winds of the earth, because you broke my commandment. But there will still be a remnant, like Zechariah 14 verse 1 to 4 says, in the land. Now Christ will defend us ones that are there, and the ones that are without, okay, in foreign land, Christ will do what? Gather them in and fight or plead or judge those nations, okay, in the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is Mount Olivet or Mount Olive, that I've shown to us, where Christ ascended, the same region where Christ will descend, like Zechariah 14 verse 4 says, and like Luke 19 verse 28 to 29, and Acts chapter 1 verse 11 to 12, and like Luke chapter 24 verse 49 to 51 says. Let's read.
Verse 3. And they have cast lot for my people. For they have cast lot for my people, and have given a boy for an allot. So
God said that when this Gentile nation, when these pagans, this heathen, took us into captivity throughout the four winds of the earth, that is to say the third part, that Ezekiel, God is saying, scattered in the wind. And God says the Most High, when you Ezekiel blow your head into the wind, I will throw out a sword after them throughout the four winds of the earth. So our brothers and our sisters that are in Babylon, the New World, America, Central America, South America, North America, and those in Europe and Asia, God said those that are there, I will draw the sword, a judgment after them, but there will still be a remnant that I will save after them. No be so. So those ones that are there, God said that look, God is telling Joel that when they go into captivity, this is what I will do. Those Gentile nations will sell them for nothing. Those ones that those half of the city that they took in captivity that went into the new world, Europe and Asia, this word will be done to them. Read.
Verse 3.
Yeah.
And they have cast lot for my people.
And they have cast lot because they did that. Go and study the slave trade. They will take slaves and price them. They will take slaves and put them in auction. Then all these rich men, all these slave owners from the world will come and make auction. Not be so. Go and do your research, do the slave trade. They put us on a stand. Children, mothers, fathers, black Israelites, okay, the real Israelites. They put us as if they are selling car. And they sold us for nothing. Sometimes for gun, sometimes for powder. So Joyce give you an example here. That's why I said they cast lots. Casting lots means every nation make their choice to purchase us for slavery. Read.
And they have cast lot for my people.
That's why you see over the years, I show you the Willie Lynch letter. They did that. I showed us go and find the Willie Lynch letter. Let's make a slave. The making of a slave. That book written by Willie Lynch. He was there. Years ago I broke down this lesson. Read.
And they have cast lot for my people.
Yes.
And have given a boy for an harlot.
And they have given a boy for a harlot. This information is in the Willie Lynch. Not be so. Yes. I showed us the back then. They use us for prostitutes. They use men as slave prostitutes. For nothing. They mix gin. Read.
And they have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink.
They sold a girl for a wine, for that bottle of wine. Do you see the great mockery? And this generation will not still get it. So stubborn of this generation. That's why you see there will be a top that God will destroy. Even here in the land. We're going there. Throughout the 4 weeks of the earth, God will destroy a third part of Israel. And there will be a third part, and out of that third part, there will be a remnant that will be saved. The book of Enoch, third parable, chapter 60, verse 7. Let's go.
Book of Enoch, chapter 60, verse 7. And on that day, two monsters.
And on that day, two monsters, let's go.
Will be separated. Will
be separated, as we read in 2 Ezra 6, verse 47 to 53. Read.
From one another.
Remember, God separated these two monsters, which Ezra is called Enoch, but it's actually Behemoth. Then he says Leviathan. Then he says that Behemoth, okay, lying in a region where the 7 parts is, that is the dry land. Not be so. Wherein is 1,000 hills. Then I show you in Psalm 50 verse 10. God said, out of Zion, where the sun riseth, okay, that's where the peace play, okay, in 1,000 hills. Now pay attention to what Enoch says. Read on.
And on that day, two monsters will be separated from one another.
Yes.
A female monster whose name is Leviathan.
Yes.
To dwell in the part of the sea.
So Leviathan will dwell in the part of the sea, just like 2 Ezra chapter 6 says. Pay attention. I'm dealing with a map here. Read.
Above the spring of the water.
Above what?
The springs of the water, whose name is Leviathan. To dwell in the depth of the sea.
To dwell in the depth of the sea. So Leviathan dwell in the depth of the sea. Not be so. Oh yeah, let's go.
Above the spring of the waters.
Above the spring of the water, the next verse, son of man.
And the name of the male is Behemoth.
Who occupied with his breast an immense desert, named Titan. Let's go.
On the east of the garden.
On the east of where?
On the east of the garden.
On the east of where all the men?
On the east of the garden.
On the east of the where all the men?
On the east of the garden.
Read.
Where the chosen and the righteous dwell.
Where the chosen and the righteous dwell. So Behemoth's breast lie down in the land on the east of the garden, where the chosen and the righteous dwell. Where is the garden? What garden is talking about? Garden of Eden. Because the chosen and the righteous, who are they? Israelites. Where did they dwell? In Jerusalem. Not be so. That's why you see second Ezra is telling you. Maybe you are confused. To link it up. Let's now go back to 2 Ezra 6 again. One more time. So you can link it up very well. I understand. It's your first time hearing this. Start from verse 50.
2 Ezra chapter 6 verse 50. And this separate the one from the other.
So God is separate the one from the other, just as Enoch is saying. And God will separate two monsters. That's what Enoch 60 verse 7 is saying. Ezra is saying the same thing. Read.
for the seventh part.
Remember, I'm reading all these things to give us a map to show you where a land of 1,000 hills is. It is the land of Israel, Mount Zion. That is in Rwanda, which is East Central Africa. That's where Behemoth is dwelling. In the land of 1,000 hills. Read.
And this separate the one from the other.
And this separate the one from the other. Read.
For the seventh part.
For the seventh part.
Namely. Where the water was gathered together.
Yes.
Might not hold them or both.
Go on, verse 51.
Unto Enoch, thou givest one part, which was dwelt in the third part.
Enoch is Behemoth. Unto Behemoth, 2 Ezra 6:51. Unto Behemoth, thou givest one part. What is the one part? Very slow and read.
Which was dried up.
Which was dried up which day?
Upon the third day.
That is the land, the earth, the dry land, which God called earth. Was dried up the third day. In Genesis 1:9, it's about the earth. Unto Enoch, thou did give one part, which thou dried up. God didn't create the earth on the third day. That's when God revealed the earth. I'll break it down to us before. Let's read it.
That he should dwell in the same part.
That he should dwell in the same part in a land.
Wherein are 1,000 hills.
Wherein are 1,000 hills. That's why when I search on Google, what did it say about 1,000 hills? Rwanda. And Enoch is saying that beast is dwelling in where the choosing and the righteous dwell. At the east of Eden. Link it up together. Okay? Because Rwanda is in East Central Africa. And truly of a truth, Mount Zion is within the East Central Africa. Not be so. They just say this one Rwanda, this one Kenya. They are just with their one region. Kenya, which is the true Mount Zion, which is East Africa, and Rwanda, they are one region. That's why I show Joel 3 verse 3. When they possess our land, they part it. Psalm 49 say they call their land that they possess to captivity after their own names. So now they call this one Rwanda, this one Kenya, this one Congo, this one Nigeria, this one Ghana. But they are one region that God give to Israel. It's a huge kingdom. You understand saying it's a huge kingdom that is fertile. You understand saying a land that is tropical. That's a land filled with milk and honey, where there is vegetation, where there is animals, where there are resources, the gold, the oil, the carbuncle, the silver. You understand saying all the blessings of the earth is there in where? Sub-Saharan Africa, or Sub-Sahara, or Sub-Sahara Africa. Is that understood? Yes. So what I'm doing here is giving us a location where the true land is, not Middle East. There's no such thing called Middle East, that desert. Okay, because Kenya, Rwanda, that is sub-Saharan. There's no Middle East there. That's not Middle East. You just what I'm saying. And that Israel today, that fake 1948 Israel is not in sub-Saharan Africa. That region is close to Egypt, and Egypt is a desert. That's why God told Moses in Deuteronomy 11 verse 8 to 15 that the land I give to Israel is not like the land of Egypt. Because Egypt is a desert. That Israel today is close to Egypt. That region is a desert. That's why God is telling Moses in a map. God was giving us a map in scripture in Deuteronomy 11 verse 8 to 15 that the land I give to Israel is not like the land of Egypt. People don't think because they don't study and they don't humble themselves. To those that know, that's the issue. It's not the reason why we don't know that we're in our land. Because when the Gentiles took our land, God gave it to them because we sin, we transgress the commandment. So they took our land, they part it, rename it, and make us tributaries to pay them tax or tribute, as you are seeing this day. That's why you see you have resources and you are suffering. Because Israel would hear word to return to the Most High and keep the commandment, keep the Sabbath day, not Sunday. Israel, they are too stubborn. There's a book I want to show to us about the Euphrates. Now watch this. Alright, so this is the earth and its inhabitants by L.E.C. Reclus. Okay, by L.E.C. Reclus, volume 3, West Africa. Published around the 1888, as you can see on my screen. Let's dive into a particular page 267. I took a screenshot of it. I want you to read this for me. This on West Africa about the land. This author is breaking down the land, okay, based on their travels. Now watch this. Now read this Dahomey, page 267. Let's go. East of Great Popo begins Dahomey territory.
Gathering by the importance town of Gawe, known to Europeans.
Pay attention, though.
By the various names.
By the various names. So the town named Gawe was known to the Europeans by various names. What are these names?
Fida,
Fida, Hivida,
Wida,
Wida,
Wida.
Wida.
The old writings
The old writers call it what?
call it Judah.
The old writers call it what? All the men.
Judah.
All the men, what do you call it?
Judah.
So now the Europeans, there's a town named Clywell controlled by the Dahomians. This land go by various names of Fida, Hivida, Wida, W-H-Y-D-A-H. Then it says Wida, W-I-D-A. Then it says the old writers call it what?
Judah.
Call it what?
Judah.
Call it what?
Judah.
So the old writer call this land Judah. Tell me something. Where is Naomi? Come for your dad. He's very smart. Be very bold to answer. Let's clap for him. Now he says the old writers call it what? Judah in Naomi. They know that these Europeans know this European, this Edomites, they know where our land is. Pay attention, read. What they did is that they divide our land and begin to rename things. And its inhabitants were said to be Jews. You see that? Read it again for where it said the Europeans.
Okay. Known to Europeans by the various name of Fida.
Known to the Europeans by the various name Fida, F-I-D-A, comma, let's go. Ifida. Ifida is spelled as H-E-V-E-D-A-H. They call it so many names. These names are interchangeable. They mean the same thing. Continue reading. Fida, Hivida. What's the next one?
Wida.
Wida. W-H-Y-D-A-H. What's the next one? Comma.
Wida.
Wida. W-I-D-A. They mean the same thing, different spelling. Read.
The old writer.
The old writers. Go on, call it what?
Call it Judah.
Call it what?
Judah.
Call it what?
Call it Judah.
Call it Judah. J-U-D what?
D-A.
J-U-D-A. The old writers call it Judah. And its inhabitants
Were said to
be Jews. Is that understood? I'm not done. Then it says, and its inhabitants were said to be Jews. Why the neighboring river, Alala? Do you see that? The neighboring river, Alala, in Judah. Pay attention, no. The neighboring river in the land of Judah, called Alala. That river, the natives call it Alala. A-L-L-A. Not be so.
and the neighboring river Alala,
Yes.
whose real name is Ephra.
And the neighboring river, with the natives call it Alala. What he said here?
Whose real name is Ephra.
Whose real name is Ephra? Let's go.
Became Euphrates.
Become the water of the men.
The Euphrates.
Become the water of the men.
The Euphrates.
So the neighboring river, with the natives call Alala in the land of Judah, became the what? The reason why he said became, because the Europeans, the natives call that river Alala, but they changed it to what? Euphrates, the biblical Euphrates. But the true name of Euphrates is Alala. You know what I'm saying? In West Africa. Do you see that? So the original Euphrates, the Europeans know. That's why I said the old writers called that river Alala, Euphrates. They say that the inhabitants of the land were said to be Jews from Judah. Controlled by who? Naomi. Where is Naomi? West Africa. Not be so. The Naomi today is where? Togo and the Republic of Benin, Nigeria, Ghana, those regions was controlled by Naomi. Is that understood? Let me now show us ancient map. But before I go there, continue reading from here. Yes, during
the flourishing days of the slave trade. During the flourishing days of the slave trade.
Now pay attention, oh. During the flourishing days of the slave trade,
from 16 to 18,000.
From 16 to 18,000,
we are annually transported.
We are annually transported. From where?
From Ajuda.
From Ajuda. So they also call it Ajuda. You see that Ajuda, Fida, Wida, Ivida. Then they now say Ajuda. Because this is what the Europeans were calling it. But this was the Jews. So during the flourishing days, of the slave trade, about 16 to 18,000. Okay, we were doing what? We are transported annually. You see that? From where? From Ajuda. Let's read.
From Ajuda, as the Portuguese called this place.
So the Portuguese call it Ajuda. So each European their name. Each Edomite king of Rome, they call it so many names. This Edomite, these Caucasians, or Ibo Pepe. So the Portuguese called that land Ajuda. and Judah. They put A in front. That's why I said those words they are interchangeable. They mean the same thing, which is Judah. Read.
As the Portuguese calls this place,
Yes.
which at that time had a population of 35,000.
Yes, because those were the remnants in that location. Read.
The tutelar deity of Wida is the snake,
Aha.
and his famous fetish temple is served by a priestess.
Now, do you see that? The tutelar deity of Wida is the snake. That's why the Most High was transporting them, because Israel will not hear word. That's why you see in Igbo land they don't kill snake. They don't kill python. They are still doing it to this day, worshiping snake or seeing snake as part of them. They don't kill it. They were doing this back then. Because Israel will not hear what they were Judah. We were still worshiping fallen angels, okay, and deities, animals. Go show Ezekiel chapter 8 from verse 10. Go show Ezekiel that look on the walls. The ancients were portraying beasts and animals on the walls and were blowing incense to them. Not be so. That's why you see that brazen and serpent that Moses made. Israel begin to make an idol to it and worship it. Continue reading. In next paragraph, where is it wider?
Wida belonged by right of conquest to
Now pay attention. Then he says, Wida belongs by right of conquest
Dahomey since 1725.
to Dahomey since 1725. So the Dahomians conquer Wida, the kingdom of Judah. Dahomians are not our people. Dahomians conquer us. Okay, the Dahomians are not us. Pay attention very carefully. That's why I say I will show you ancient map. Dahomey conquer virtually the Gulf of Guinea. I will show you that in the map. I'm going there next. They conquered the Gulf of Guinea. Dahomey took on us region. That's why you see they say that the old writers call that place as Judah. Evida, Wida, Fida. Then he says Judah. Is that understood? Because our people were worshiping fallen angels, deities. That's why they were transported in slavery. God is still punishing them to this day. That's why John was telling you that Babylon, okay, they are known for trading of slaves in the book of Revelation 18 verse 10 to 13. They are still doing that to this day. Because Israel will not hear word. Don't be so. Now, let me now show us the map. Now watch this. This is a map of 1743. This Oman and here's map. Can we all see this map? What is it here? Guinea. It's not Guinea, it says here. Now do you see the territorial line drawn? And do you see the color of yellow tempest? Now this is a yellow tempest. Can we all see? Can we all see yellow tempest? Let me stay from this angle so we can all see it very well. Let me brighten my screen. Can we all see it? Can we all see yellow tempest? Can we all see Guinea? You see that these cartographers, they drew the portion. You see that? This is sub-Saharan Africa. That's why it says Guinea. Can you see that? Can you see where Guinea is drawn? Can you see where Guinea is drawn? Just look at that. What do you see there? Gabon, Congo. Do you see that? Do you see the equator? Can you see the equator? Yes. What you said here? It says equator. Equator vel linea equinotalis. Because equator is the same thing with equinotalis, like I've told us. That's why I say equator. Can you see there? Equator. That is beside it. What you put here? Equinotalis. Can you see the beside it? I'm not making this up. He put equator there and put equinotalis. They mean the same thing. Can you see that zebra crossing line? That's crossing West Africa. That's why he painted it with yellow. Because all this region is west. Is Gabon not west? Gabon is west central. What do you see here? Saint Tome. Can you see Principe? What do you say here? Biafra. Biafara. That's Biafra. Do you see that? Then if you look upward here, what do you write here in Latin? It says Ulterioria, Guinea Incognita, and Dahomey, Dahuma, Subco, Adra, et Judah. That means region of Dahomey, because Dahomey control all this territory that is painted in yellow. Can you see that? This are represent region. Hold on, I type this in Google. Watch this. Let's look at the screen. I'm breaking down the land of Israel. This is how we do it. Et Judah. Then it says et Judah. Et Judah. The answer might not be transparent, but it will give you a clue what he's saying. Let me see here. Okay. Let's see what he's saying. And can we all see that? Google has translated it already. Can you see? It says Dahomey. Now see, this is Google translation. This is not me. Oh, I went to Google translation to translate it. Now it says what I asked Google search engine to translate for me is Dahomey, Dahuma, Swabko, Adra, et Judah, as shown in that map in 1700. No be so by Homan. It says Dahomey. This translation. It says Dahomey, Dahuma, under whom Andra and Judah. Do you see that? It just giving you an instance of what it is, because this is territory that Dahomey control. See that this Andra and Judah is under Dahomey. That's what it's telling you. That whole region that is painted in yellow, that cartographer paints in yellow, is controlled by the Dahomians. All the, including Nigeria is here. That's why I show you Biafra. Can you see Biafra here? Can you see Biafra here? Now if you look close, okay, that's what they put Judah here. So this whole region is Judah. Can you see that? Can you see Aweri? Can we all see Aweri here in the middle of my screen? I've zoomed it in. Can we all see Aweri? Okay, can you see Calabari? Calabari is Calabar. Then it says Guinea proper superior. That means Upper Guinea. That's what it means in French. Guinea propria superior means Upper Guinea. That's West Africa. See Cameroon here. Can you see Cameroons? See Cameroon, see Biafra close to Cameroon. Eh? Can you see that? Can you see the equator? Can you see Gabon? So I'm not making it. So this land of Israel, in the midst of the nation, that's where the equator is crossing. West, you see cross West Africa. Go on, if you look sideways, can you see Ethiopia? Can you see that can you see that Africa was called Ethiopia? Can you see that? He said Oshon, this is in French. He said Oshon is Ethiopia. Can you see downward where this image is drawn of people and their houses? This ancient drawing. Can you see these ancient drawings? Can you see ancient drawing? Can you see earth and house is built of wood? Can you see the black people there? And so in the map they even draw images there. Then they say Ocean, what they call Atlantic Ocean today. What they call Atlantic Ocean today was formerly called Ocean in Ethiopia. So that means, or Ethiopia Ocean. So that means Africa before was called Ethiopia. So the name has changed. Sudan, Ethiopia. You start saying Somaliland, Guinea, Sudan, Libya. The name has always changed over the years. So now they're not using Africa. But before you call so many names, it's not understood. So that's my keyword here in this map. So the reason why I brought this map is to show you that the land of Judah, controlled by the Dahomians, compassed from the Senegambia region all the way to Gabon. Can you see that? To Central Africa. Can you see the Loango? Can you see Loango? Can you see Loango down my screen? In this white area. Look at Loango down here, down my screen. Can you see Loango? Because Loango is not in Gabon. Loango is in Gabon. That's what you normally see on your natural wide. When they show all these animals and blessed land that is fertile. And Gabon is among that land of Judah, where this map is drawing. That's why he painted it with yellow tempest. So all these old writers, they know what's going on. It's not understood. That's why I show you that book, The Earth and Its Inhabitants. The earth, which is the land, and its inhabitants. That is to say, the inhabitants dwelling in the land that belongs to them. That's why I say in page 267 that the native called that river Alala. The old writers call it what? Ifra. That land was called Judah. But the Europeans call it what? Judah, Wider, Feeder, all these names, so on and so forth. As I show us, I can't remember everything on my head. Then say that river is what? The Euphrates River. Because the Alala River is the Euphrates River, as Europeans call it in this day. The Euphrates. Let me now show that the Euphrates belong to the children of Israel. Give me the book of Genesis 15 verse 18. Let's go there. So to show you that West Africa is part of the land of Israel, that God gave to Abraham and his seed after him.
The book of Genesis 15, 18. Mm-hmm. In that same day, the Lord made the covenant with Abraham. Mm-hmm. Saying unto thy seed.
So in that same day, God made a covenant with Abraham, saying what?
Unto thy seed have I given this land.
Unto your seed have I given this land. So the key word here is the covenant and the land. To your seed, your posterity, have I given you this land and now, Ile. In case you are confused, because people are confused, Ile, Anna. Abraham, to your seed, have I given this land? Which land is that?
From the river of Egypt.
So God said from the rivers of Egypt, that's the Nile River or the river Gihon. I will show us I'm going there. Read.
Unto the great river, the river Euphrates.
So the Bible says unto the great river, the river Euphrates. So the river Euphrates belongs to the children of Israel. I'm not making this up. Read.
The Canaanites and the Kenizzites and the Cadmonites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Rephaites.
So that's my keynote here. Let me show you a book. Okay, written by Josephus, translated by William Whiston in 1737. We'll be looking at Antiquity of the Jews, Wonders of our House Creation, the third part 2 of this Sabbath lesson, showing us that sub-Saharan Africa is the true land of Israel. Now I've shown us Euphrates. Euphrates is West Africa. I want to show you that Gihon. Okay, Gihon is from East Africa. Okay, and travel all the way. The source of the Gihon River comes from East Africa and move all the way to the so-called Great Sea. So pay attention. This is the book of the complete work of Josephus, written in the 17th century. Antiquity of the Jews, book 1, chapter 1, verse 3. Read.
And Gihon runs through Egypt.
And Gihon runs through Egypt does not mean that the river Gihon is in Egypt. It runs through Egypt, but it has a source where it is coming from, where it is running to Egypt. So it is coming from somewhere and running to Egypt. Read.
And Gihon runs through Egypt.
And Gihon runs through Egypt.
And denotes what arises from the east.
And Gihon runs through Egypt and denotes what arises from the east. Because that's where it comes from. That's the source. So Gihon runs from East Africa and runs through Egypt to come empty himself. Understand therefore that all rivers are tributaries to the sea. Once again, all rivers are tributaries to the sea. All rivers must empty at the sea. That means their channel goes to the sea. That's why it is running or passing through. That's the honor for running. That's why I say it did not anything that comes from the east. Is that understood? And Gihon belongs to Israel. I'll show you that. I'll show you Euphrates, Genesis 15, verse 18 to 21. And then I'll show you the Euphrates region in West Africa. So now I'll show you that Gihon is east of Africa. Then I'll show you that a land of 1,000 hills is Central Africa. Read.
And Gihon runs through Egypt and they know what arises from the east.
And denotes what arises from the east. That is true. Even if you go to Google and type the Nile River, because we'll tell you that here. Read.
Which the Greeks call Nile.
Which the Greeks call Nile. So the Gihon, the Greeks call it Nile River. They change the name. Is that understood? 1 Kings 1 verse 32.
King David, book of 1 Kings 1, reading verse 32. And King David said, call me Zadok, and Nathan the prophet, and Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada. And they came before the king.
Yes.
33. The king also said unto them, Take with you the servants of your Lord, and call Solomon my son to ride upon my own mule, and bring him down to Gihon, and let Zadok the priest, and Nathan the prophet, anoint him there the king over Israel.
Anoint Solomon the king there in Gihon over Israel. So Gihon belongs to Israel. Now hold on. So Gihon is the Nile River. That's why I say he did not everything anything that comes from east. That's where it comes from. East Africa. Egypt is north, not Africa. So let's type 9. Source. Nile River source. Let's put your word. That should be a better search. I want you to read this for me. So what I type is this: Nile River source, and navigate downward to the options. Then it says, which country owns the source of the river Nile? I'm not making this up. Read.
The Nile River.
The Nile River
flows from Lake Victoria.
Flows from where?
Lake Victoria.
Flows from where?
Lake Victoria.
All the men flows from where?
Lake Victoria.
Lake Victoria. The Nile River flows from Lake Victoria. Read on.
In Uganda.
In where?
In Uganda.
In where, all the men?
In Uganda.
In Uganda. Where's Uganda?
East Africa.
For those that don't know, let's start the location of Uganda. Uganda. Let me say Uganda coast. EST coast. Let's look that up in Google. Geography of Uganda. Let's read it.
Uganda is located in Eastern Africa.
Read it again.
Uganda is located in Eastern Africa.
So it says Uganda is located or situated in Eastern Africa, which is the Nile River or the Gihon River. And Solomon was crowned king in Gihon in East Africa. That's Uganda. Pay attention, no. Solomon was crowned king in Uganda. The land of 1,000 hills is in Rwanda. Now, do you see how they divide our land? And Mount Zion is in Uganda. Not be so. Mount Zion is in Uganda. Land of 1,000 hills. That's what David said in Psalm 50 verse 1 to 2 and verse 10. And the book of Enoch 60 verse 7 to 8 in the third parable. Then in the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 6 from verse 47 to 53. Now do you see how the Gentiles in Joel 3 verse 3, when they took us into captivity, they devoured our land. They used the Willie Lynch syndrome to enslave us, give us their own name. They called the land that they possess that God give to them by conquest after their own name, because Israel will not hear what to keep the commandments, because Israel is the problem and Israel is the solution. That's why I'm showing us all this mystery. I'm taking my time to show it to us so that we will know what is going on the earth. But people are just too impatient. I hope I've put all the pieces together for everyone. So we can always meditate upon it to put the many pieces together. Jubilees 23 verse 16. To show you what Ezekiel was saying in Ezekiel 7 verse 21 to 22 and verse 24 to 26. When Ezekiel speak about the wicked of the earth, the wars of the hidden, the robbers, that God will give our land to them to possess it. In the book of Jubilees, the Bible refers them to as sinners of the Gentiles. Is that understood? And I'll give us more information from there. Let's read Jubilees 23:16. Let's go.
And in that generation, the sons shall covet their fathers, and their elders.
Now pay attention. It says, and in that generation, meaning at the end, the sons shall convict their fathers. That means they will tell their parents, this thing you are doing is not correct. Turn unto the Most High, return back to your Creator, return back to your Maker, or Israel. This is the problem, and this is the solution. In the book of Jubilees written by Moses, Moses is prophesying to the end that in the last days, children will convict their parents of their sins, that they are sinning against the Most High God. Read.
And in that generation, the sons shall convict their fathers, and their elders of sin
and their elders of sin, because their elders are their teachers, their pastors, as it is this day. Read.
And in that generation, the sons shall convict their fathers.
The sons in plural. Remember, Joel 2:28 says that the sons shall see visions. Let's go there. So they don't say that your is making this up, and they'll come back here.
Okay, the book of Joel 2:28. And it shall come to pass afterwards that I will pour out my spirit upon all.
And it shall come to pass afterward, meaning the last days, that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. When he says all flesh, it's not everybody. It's all flesh among the children of Israel that return to the Most High God. Because not all flesh will be saved. Remember, all eyes shall see him, but is it all eyes shall be saved? So the all flesh is all flesh that repent. Because in that all flesh, these are they that will return back to the commandments. Joel is an Israelite. Read.
And it shall come to pass afterwards that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy.
So that's my key word there. Read.
Your old men shall dream dreams.
Your old men shall dream dreams, yes.
Your young men shall see visions. And also upon the servants.
Yes.
And upon the handmaids.
Go on.
In those days will I pour out my spirit.
Go on.
30. And I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth. Blood and fire. And pillars of smoke.
So God said in that day, I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth. That's the day of judgment when Christ returns. Because Joel is speaking about the last days. To those that will return back to the commandments. Jubilee will explain further. Read.
KJV Joel 2:31. The sun shall be turned into darkness.
That's why he said the sun shall be turned to darkness. Because that is Christ coming. Because the luminaries will depart. Okay? For Christ to be revealed. Everyone will go dark. That's why I broke down the lesson under the dark parable of the last second coming. Read.
And the moon into blood.
And the moon into blood. Let's go.
Before the great and terrible day of the...
It's not talking about physical blood. Meaning that the moon will turn red. Because the moon color is reddish. That's why Christ said, when it is evening, you say that it is red because it is in the evening the moon resumes her office. That's what I mean by blood. Read.
And the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord come.
Because it's not about the end of days. Read.
And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord.
And it shall come to pass that whosoever calleth upon the name of the Most High God, in truth, shall be what?
Shall be delivered.
Shall be what?
Delivered.
Shall be delivered. Read. From where?
For in Mount Zion.
For in Mount Zion, whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord. That's why Joel tells you that if we call all nations to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and we will plead or fight with them there for his heritage and his people Israel. That is sub-Saharan Africa here. That's why I show you Euphrates in West Africa. I show you Judah in the map there that the Tahomians were controlling. In West Africa, the kingdom of Judah is very huge. And stretched forth to East Africa. It's very big. They split our land and begin to rename things. Is that understood? Now read.
For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem.
Yes.
Shall be deliverance.
For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem there shall be deliverance. Is that understood? Read.
As the Most High has said.
As the Most High has said. Listen very carefully. Is it everybody?
And in the remnant.
And what?
And in the remnant.
And in the remnant.
Whom the Most High shall call.
Whom the Most High shall call. Do you see that? So there will be a remnant out of Mount Zion and Jerusalem. It's not everybody. That's what Joel means by all flesh. When Joel says all spirit, it's not everybody. They are the remnant from Israel that will come back to the commandments. Jubilees, let's go back there. Jubilees will tell you the reason why. Because these are the children that will begin to convince their parents and their teacher, their pastor, what you are doing is wrong. Keep the Sabbath day, keep the Passover, keep the feast of unleavened bread. Don't do Christmas, don't do Easter, because they are the remnant, the top part. Is that understood? Let's read. Jubilees 23. Let's go back there, verse 16.
And in that generation,
pay attention very carefully.
the sons shall convict their fathers.
The sons in plural shall convict their father, as Joel was stating. Precept must be upon precept. That is the principles of understanding. Read.
And their elders.
Moses wrote the book of Jubilees. And for those that don't know, that are listening to this lesson, the believers, read. And for those that wish to learn of the non-believers, read.
And their elders of sin and unrighteousness.
So they will convict their fathers and their elders of sin. What is sin, everyone? Sin is a transgression of the law. So the children will tell them and blow the trumpet that you guys are sinning. You are breaking God's law. Come back to the commandments. He will tell you that here. Read.
And of the words of their mouth.
Uh-huh.
And the great wickedness which they perpetrate.
Uh-huh.
And concerning their forsaking.
And the great wickedness that their parents and the elders or their pastors are perpetrating, that they are doing in this generation, in these last days. Read.
And concerning their forsaking the covenant.
And concerning their forsaking the covenant. So the children begin to warn their parents and their elders, why are you forsaking the covenant? That's the reason why there's a problem on the earth. This was written thousands of years ago. Read.
Which the Most High made between them and him.
Which the Most High made between them and him. That's the children of Israel. Read.
That they should observe and do all his commandments.
That they should observe and do all his commandments. Not Christmas, not Easter, not birthday, not Eid al-Maulud, not Eid al-Kabir, not Eid al-Fitri, not Halloween, not Children's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day. No. The feast days in the book of Leviticus 23 and all the feast days in the law and the prophets. So the children in those days, like us for instance, as you are saying this day, warning the people, stop celebrating all these Gentiles. There will be a punishment. There will be a judgment on the house of Israel. There will be a third part that will be destroyed all over the world, even here in our land. Him that has ears to hear, let him hear.
That they should observe and do all his commandments.
That they should observe and do all his commandments. This is what the children will be telling their parents and their pastors. Change from your ways. Consider your ways. Thus says the Most High. That's what the book of Haggai, chapter 1 verse 5 says. Read.
And his ordinances and all his laws.
And his ordinances and all his laws. So the commandment, the ordinances and the laws. Go back to it. Without what?
Departing either to the right hand.
Children in those days that the Most High has put his spirit upon, they will take their parents. Don't go to the left hand to serve the gods of the Gentiles and their feast days and their laws. Don't turn to the right hand or to the left hand. It's a straight way or a straight gate to the kingdom. It's one way. The law and the prophets through Christ. Read.
17. For all have done evil, and every man speaks iniquity, and all their works are uncleanness, and abomination, and all their ways are pollution, uncleanness, and destruction. 18.
He says all their ways leads to destruction. That's why you see there is a plague on the earth all over the world. Read.
18.
Because what they are doing is what is causing the plague on the earth. Israel are the problem because they are stiff-necked people. They don't get what? Too stubborn. Me, I know them very well. This is my head God made it very strong. Read.
Behold, the earth shall be destroyed on account of all their.
Behold, the earth shall be destroyed on account of all their works, because of the abomination they are doing. That's why the earth shall be destroyed. That's why God will send Christ to destroy them. That third part, and also the Gentiles too. But right here I'm dealing with the third part in Israel. Because Israel is the problem. Israel is the solution. That's why I said, behold, the earth shall be destroyed on account of all their works. Read.
And there shall be no seed of the vine.
Yes.
And no oil.
Yes.
For their works are altogether faithless.
Yes.
And they all shall perish together, beasts and cattle and birds, and all the fish of the sea, on account of the children of men.
On account of the children of men, all these things will be destroyed because of Israel. Because Israel is supposed to set their house in order. Then God will give them the power to set the earth in order. That's why the kingdom has not come. Because Israel is the problem, they will return. God must destroy them and take for him a remnant. Because all will not change. Read verse 19.
Strive one with another, the young with the old, and the old with the young.
As you are saying this day, read.
The poor with the rich, the lowly with the great, and the beggar with the prince, on account of the law and the covenant. For they are forgotten commandment, and covenant, and feast, and month, and Sabbath, and jubilees, and all judgment.
So he said, and they shall strive. And now for strive is content. Like I've said, they shall strive one with another. The young with the old, and the old with the young. The poor with the rich. the lowly with the great, and the beggar with the prince, on account of the law and the covenants. For they have forgotten commandments and covenants and feasts and months and sabbaths and jubilees and all judgments, as all the lessons that we have taught, and as you are seeing us doing this day, contending with the inhabitants of the earth. Why are you forsaking God's covenant? The Sabbath, remember it and keep it holy. Not Sunday. God did not say remember Sunday to keep it holy. God did not say remember the first day of the week. God said remember the Sabbath day. Christians will not hear word. Israel will not hear word. So in the last days, Moses was telling the children of Israel that God will stir up the spirit of the sons and put his spirit upon them, like Joel 2:28 to 32 says, among those remnants, and they will contend with their parents and with their teachers. Why are you doing things that God did not make a covenant with the house of Israel? The true Sabbath and festivals, you're not doing it. Why are you doing another feast that God did not give to us? As you are seeing this day, this precept was written before I was even born, and yet I'm fulfilling what is written. Read.
Verse 20. And they shall stand sword and war to turn them back.
And they shall stand swords and war to turn them back. The sword there is the word. That's the precept, the Bible. That's the sword. Those servants that the Most High have raised, we do make war with them through the wall of God. To do what? To turn them back to the covenant. To keep the Sabbath. Read.
And they shall stand sword
And they shall stand swords
and war to turn them back into the way.
Yes.
But they shall not return until much blood has been shed.
But Israel will not return until much blood is shedded. Because I stiff-necked people, I know them very well.
Until much blood has been shed on the earth, one by another.
Until much blood has been shed on the earth, one by another, because Israel is throughout the four winds of the earth. The reason why there's so much blood on the earth is because Israel is the problem. They are there. I keep saying that Israel is the problem. They are the solution. But they will not return. That's what Moses is saying. They won't return until much blood is shed on the earth. They are stubborn. Their Thomases full of incredulity, disbelief. Their mind is stone cold. They'll be hearing truth, but yet they'll be making mockery of it and feeling too big to receive it. Ineku nonu. Big man for mouth. They don't know anything spiritually. Read. Until much blood is shed on the earth, that's when their eyes go clear. Medicine after death. But now, the most actually is someone to warn them. They will not hear. Until much blood is shed, they will begin to cry. Father, have mercy on us. Oh, what is going on the earth? Oh, but yet you are the problem. God is giving the solution, but yet you are rejecting it. Until God will not bring the blood, there will be no pity. On that day, God will bring the blood, there will be no pity, no mercy. God will eliminate without mercy. God will use the Gentiles and turn Israel against themselves. The sinners of Israel against themselves, they will kill themselves in war. Israel, they will kill themselves in war, the sinners among them, because they refuse to hear. That's why God said in all the land, the top part will be destroyed. There will be a top part that will be destroyed, and there will be a top part that will be saved. I've told you that. Read 21.
And those who have escaped shall not return from their wickedness.
Now, do you hear that? So those who have escaped, those that take heed to the warning of the watchmen, that Satan says the Most High, yes, the judgment coming. Return back to the Most High God. Keep the commandment, forsake your ways. Stop the religion given to you by the Gentiles. Those ones that do that, their life will be for a prey to themselves. They will be saved on the day of destruction. Read.
And those who have escaped shall not return from their wickedness.
Yes.
To the way of righteousness. But they shall all exalt themselves to deceit and wealth, that they may each take all that is his neighbor. And they shall name the great name, but not in truth.
Excuse me.
Righteousness. And
those that escape are not those that are doing right. Those that escape, okay, are those that are fleeing from war. They are the wicked ones that think that they can escape from the plague and the Most High will bring. Read. Let me correct that here.
And those who have escaped shall not return from their wickedness.
So they will not return from their wickedness, thinking that their wealth can deliver them. Read.
To the way of righteousness.
Yes.
But they shall all exalt themselves.
But they shall all exalt themselves because of what they think they have.
To deceit and wealth.
To deceit and wealth, go on.
That they may each take all that is his neighbor's, and they shall name the great name, but not in truth and not in righteousness.
Now, do you hear that? So they will name the great name. So they'll be calling God to worship you. But it's not in truth. That's why I said, but it says, read it again, in that last paragraph.
That they may each take all that is his neighbor's, and they shall name the great name.
These people will be very covetous and begin to come on the Most High. But yet it's not in truth. That's what he's saying here. That they may each take all that is his neighbors, and they shall name the great name, but not in truth. So they will call the Most High's name, but it's not in truth. And they shall do what?
Defy the Holy of Holies.
Yes, and they shall defy the Holy of Holies. Go on.
with their uncleanness
Yes.
and the corruption of their pollution. Jubilees 23 verse 22. And a great punishment shall befall the deeds of this generation from the Most High.
And a great punishment
Shall befall the deeds of this generation from the Most High.
So the Most High will punish this generation because of all their deeds, their wickedness, for forsaking the covenant and the law. So God will bring a punishment upon them, a plague, different kind of plague upon the earth. Read.
And he will give them over to the sword.
And God will give them over to the sword, to the war, to destruction. Just wait. That's what Ezekiel 5 verse 10 tells you of cannibalism. When God told Ezekiel, cut your hair, scatter it into the wind, God said, I will throw a sword after them, and the children will eat the flesh of their fathers. In verse 10. There must be cannibalism, just like Leviticus 26 verse 29 says, and Deuteronomy 28 verse 53 to 59 says, of the curse upon Israel throughout the 4 winds of the earth. You understand what I'm saying? Whenever war is fought, there's cannibalism. But just wait for the Third World War, and you see what will happen. Read.
Jubilees 23. And a great punishment shall befall the deeds of this generation from the Most High. And he will give them over to the sword and to judgment and to captivity and to be plundered and devoured. And he will wake up against the sinners of the Gentiles, who have neither mercy nor compassion.
In the last paragraph of verse 22, it says, and I will give them to judgment and to captivity, to be plundered. Then it says in verse 23, and he will wake up against them, against Israel, the sinners of the Gentiles, like Ezekiel 7:21-22 says, the wicked of the earth, or the worst of the Gentiles, or the robbers. They are the sinners among the Gentiles that give you this religion that you are doing this day. That's why God said, when I take you throughout the 4 winds of the earth, you will begin to serve gods of wood and stone. Because the sinners of the Gentiles, Edom, in Psalm 3 verse 6, gave you this religion during the slave trade. That's why you see that you are doing all these feast days that God did not give to you. That's why you see the knowledge of what went on is being taught this day. Him that has to hear, let him hear what the Spirit has said to the churches. Read. Verse 3 again.
And they will wake up against them, the sinners of the Gentiles, who have neither mercy nor compassion.
So God will wake up the sinners of the Gentiles who have neither compassion or mercy. They are heartless people. That's why I showed you years ago what we released did to the slaves during the slave trade. They are very heartless. That's why I say, who have neither mercy nor compassion. Read.
And who shall respect the persons of none, neither old nor young, nor anyone. For they are more wicked and strong to do evil.
For they are more wicked and strong to do evil, because they are the wicked of the Gentiles, or the sinners of the Gentiles. They are more wicked, because the other Gentiles are wicked, but this tribe, this nation of people are more wicked. Who are they? Edom, in Psalm 3 verse 6, our number one enemy. Psalm 83 verse 6. They are more wicked to do evil, because they are the sinners of the Gentiles, or the wicked of the Gentiles. Jubilees 23 verse 23 is telling you here. They are the sinners. God will raise up against them. Against them is Israel. The third part that is sent to captivity, that Ezekiel will blow in the wind. The sinners of the Gentiles, because they are more wicked to do evil. God will use it to punish Israel. Read.
For they are more wicked and strong to do evil.
For they are more wicked and strong to do evil. As you are saying this day, they don't care about you. They don't care about your young, your old. That's why you see they are plundering. Jubilee special plunder. They will plunder your land and defile it. Not be so. In verse 22, he used plunder, and he will give them over to the sword and to judgment. He says, and to captivity, and to be plundered and devoured. Because they will plunder our resources. As you are seeing this day, that's what the Oyibo, the Caucasians, the so-called white men are doing to this day. They are the Edomites, kings of Rome, the fourth beast, prophesied by Daniel, that will be at the last days, that Christ will come and destroy that last empire. Study the prophets. Read.
For they are more wicked and strong to do evil than all the children of men.
For they are more wicked, they are the stone. They are more wicked and strong to do evil than who?
Than all the children of men.
Than all the children of men in the world. That's why God used it to punish Israel for their sin. Because Israel will not do what? Give the commandments, or return back to the commandments, or the covenants. Read.
And they shall use violence against Israel, and transgression against Jacob.
And they shall use violence against Israel and transgression. They will make you break the law. As you are seeing this day, that's why they will use violence against Israel and transgression against Jacob. That's why Daniel tells you in Daniel 7:25 that they will think to change times and law. That fourth beast or fourth kingdom. Daniel 7 to 23 verse 25. 23 lets you know that the beast means kingdom. Is that understood? So therefore the fourth beast or fourth kingdom, the Roman Empire, they are the ones, they will cause transgression to Jacob. As you are seeing this day, that's why you have Israelites calling themselves Christians doing Christmas. Christmas is not lawful. Lawful is not. It's not a scripture. There's no book, there's no chapter, there's no verse that says celebrate Christmas. Christian knows this. No single book, but yet they are doing it. Read.
And much blood shall be shed upon the earth.
Because of the religion that Gentiles will introduce to Israel, much blood shall be shed on the earth, as you are seeing this day. That's why he said that they will cause transgression to Jacob. Sin is a transgression of the law. 4 John 3:4. Because religion is the problem that is swallowing up Jacob throughout the 4 winds of the earth.
And much blood shall be shed upon the earth.
Now remember, God did not give us religion. God gave us the law, statutes, and commandments, and ordinances. God did not give us religion. Alright, let's read.
And much blood shall be shed upon the earth.
So that's the reason why much blood shall be shed on the earth, because Israel refused to return back to the commandment. Are we following? Yes. Wonders of our creation. The third part of this about lesson. Read.
And there shall be love to gather and none to bury. 24. In those days they shall cry aloud.
Now remember, in those days they shall cry aloud. Read.
And call and pray that they may be saved from.
And call and pray that they may be saved from the hands of the sinners.
The Gentiles.
The Gentiles. So the sinners are the Gentiles. And they shall pray in those days and cry out to be saved, to be delivered. What will happen to them?
But none shall be saved.
But none shall be saved among them. God will do or eliminate, destroy without mercy. Him that has ears to hear, let him hear. Read.
35. And the heads of the children shall be white with grey hair.
Pay attention. And the heads of the children shall be what?
White with grey hair.
And the heads of the children shall be white with grey hair. Read.
And a child of 3 weeks shall appear old like a
And
man.
a child of 3 weeks shall appear old. Do you know the reason why?
Like a man of 100 years.
Like a man of 100 years. Do you know the reason why? People are aging on time. You will see a girl of 10 years old looking like 20 years old. Because sin. That's what Jubilee is telling you here. Because Israel will not keep the commandment. You will see a young person of 30 years old looking like 50 years old. Someone that is 20 years old looking like 40 years old. That's what Jubilee is saying here. God sin. As you are saying this day, look at the people of the earth. They old quick. A young man of 30 years old looking like 50 years old. Someone that is 10 years old, 11 or 12 years old looking like 25 years old. Just a child. You understand what I'm saying? God sin. Moses wrote this thousands of years ago. As you are seeing happening this day, confirm. Read.
And their stature shall be destroyed by tribulation or oppression.
And their stature, the reason why that thing is happening is because they shall be destroyed of tribulation and oppression done by the sinners, the Gentiles, Edom, the Roman Empire. Because the food that are giving you, the oppression, the stress, it's making you old on time. Read.
And in those days the children shall begin to study the laws.
Now pay attention. And in those days, the children shall begin to study the law. As you are saying now, read.
The laws, and to seek the commandments,
And
to return to the path of righteousness.
Read again.
And in those days,
children
shall begin to study the laws.
Children shall begin to study the laws.
And to seek the commandments.
And to seek the commandments in plural, in the laws. Read.
And to return to the path.
And to return, and to repent. Another for return is repent. In those days, which is now. So these are the remnant that will be saved. That Joel 2:32 is saying about the remnant that will be saved from Israel of the third part. Read again.
Jubilee 23 verse 26.
And
in those days,
yes,
the children that begin to study the laws and to seek the commandments.
And to seek the commandments in plural. And to do what?
Return to the path of righteousness.
And to return to the path of righteousness. That's the good way. Is that understood? Zechariah 13:9. Let's go.
Okay, the book of Zechariah 13 verse 7.
Verse 7. Let's go.
Awake, O Saul, against my shepherd.
Now pay attention. Awake, O Saul, against my shepherds.
And against the man that is my fellow. Said the Most High.
Yes.
Of hosts.
Yes.
Smite the shepherds.
Smite the shepherds.
And the sheep will be scattered.
And the sheep, which is Israel, will be scattered. Let's go.
And I will turn my hand upon the little ones.
And I will turn my hands upon the little ones. The little ones are the Israelites. Read.
And it shall come to pass.
And it shall come to pass in those days. Let's go.
That in all the land.
That in all the land it shall come to pass. Zechariah 13 verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, said the Most High God, listen very carefully.
2 parts therein shall be cut off.
2 parts in all the land shall be cut off and die. But the third part shall be left therein. Now in that third part, God will not try them. Read.
And I will bring the third part through the fire.
So God said, and I will bring the third part through the fire. Because out of the third part there will be a remnant. Verse 9, let's go.
And I will bring the third part through the fire.
So God said, and I will bring the third part through the fire. The fire there is the law. Okay, the fire there is the law and the commandment. God will try them as God is trying in the fire. That's what he's saying there. Read.
And we refine them as silver is refined.
Exactly, and we refine them as silver is refined. Let's go. Through the law, God will test them. As you are seeing this day, read. So those ones that are strong, that are built on a solid foundation, they will not wither. After they've repented, they will not change. Is that understood? Zechariah 13 verse 9.
And I will bring the third part through the fire.
So God said, and I will bring the third part through the fire, meaning we try them. Read.
And I will refine them as silver is refined.
Now when God said, and I will bring the third part through the fire, those are the ones that will be in the wilderness of the people, which is sub-Saharan Africa. Those that are here will still be here. Those that are not here, the Most High will bring them here. Is that understood? We are going there. There will be a third part, and out of this third part, not all will be saved. There will be a remnant. I'm going there. Continue reading. So this third part, God will try them as God is trying in the fire. God will refine them. The next line.
I will try them as God is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them.
And I will hear them. So these are the ones God will hear when they call on the Most High's name. That's what Joel 2:2 is saying. And whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. So those that call upon the name of the Lord of the house of Israel are those that come out to the commandment, to the laws in those days, which is now. Ezekiel 20, let's go. Ezekiel 23.
This is the book of Ezekiel 20 verse 3.
Read.
As I live, said the Most High our God, surely with a mighty hand, and with a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out, will I rule over you.
Yes.
34. And I will bring you out from the people, and will gather you out of the countries wherein you are scattered.
So God, and I will bring you out, you Israel, that top part, and I will bring you out from the people, that's the Gentiles, and we gather you from out of the countries wherein you are scattered, with a mighty hand, with a stretched out hand, and with fury poured out. That's the sword God was telling Ezekiel. When you cut your hair and scatter it to the wind, I will draw a sword after them. That's the fury poured out. Because God is trying us now to know those that He will bring to the land that are overseas, out of the top part that went overseas. Read.
35. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people.
So God said, and I will bring you into where? The wilderness of the people. So there will be another wilderness. Not Moses' wilderness, because here He will tell you. He will make it very clear to you. Read again, and I will bring you verse 35.
In the book of Ezekiel 20 verse 35. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people. And there will I plead with you face to face.
And there will I judge with you face to face. So I will bring Israel into the wilderness of the people. And because the wilderness of the people is land of Israel, sub-Saharan Africa, to those that are without, that overseas, in Babylon, in the New World, that is North America, Central America, South America, Europe, Asia. Those that are here will still be here. So when everyone meets and converge, God will not try us as God is trying in the fire. That's what Zechariah 13 verse 9 is saying. 8 to 9 is saying. Read. Verse 36, let's go.
Like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness.
Like as I plead with your fathers. So this is a different wilderness. Like as I plead with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt. So will I plead with you, says the Lord God. So this is a different wilderness that will happen in the last days. Because there will be a gathering for those that are scattered. Is that understood? That's what verse 34 is saying. And I will bring you out from the people, and will gather you out of the countries where you are scattered. So the countries where the Israelites are scattered, the top part, God will prefer a fraction or a fragment from that place. After He has poured out fury or a trial upon them, as we are seeing this day, going on the earth, all the kings and persecution happening around the world. The sickness, the earthquake, the flood, so on as the tsunami, the hurricane. God is trying them, and God is punishing them because they are breaking the commandments. Those ones that are there, God is delivering them. He's not letting the flood destroy them or the plague destroy them there. Those that keep the commandments. Read.
Like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt.
Yes.
So will I plead with you, said the Most High our God. Verse 37. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant.
Read it again.
Verse 7. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant. So
God said, and I will cause you to pass under the rod. I will bring you into the bond of the covenant. That is the law and the prophets. That's very clear. In these last days, read.
38. And I will purge out from among you the rebels.
And I will purge out from among you the rebels. That's what Zechariah 18. That's what Zechariah 13 verse 9 is saying. And I will try you as God is trying in the fire. Those third parts, there will be a remnant out of the third part that will be saved. Verse 38.
And I will purge out from among you the rebels, and then that transgress against me.
And them that transgress against me, because sin is a transgression of the law.
I will bring them forth out of the country, and they shall not enter into the land of the Israel. And you shall know that I am the Most High.
From the second Esdras 14:10-18. Read.
In the book of 2 Esdras 14 verse 10. For the world has lost its youth, and the times begin to wax old. 11. For the world is divided into 12 parts.
Now pay attention. For the world has lost its youth, meaning that the world has transgressed from the Most High commandment. The youth is referring to the things of old. That's what it means by the world has lost its youth. Meaning the things of old, the original covenants, the original commandments that God gave to them. That's what I say. For the world has lost its youth, and the times begin to wax old. So now the earth is not getting right for judgment. God sin. Read verse 11.
For the world is divided into 12 parts.
For the world is divided into 12 parts. Let's go.
And the 10 parts of it are gone already, and half of a 10th part, 12. And there remaineth that which is after the half of the 10 parts.
Yes, that means 10 and a half part is gone. So it remained a few parts left to the end before Christ returned. That's what he's saying here. All these parts are judgment. Next Sabbath, if we be the Most High's will, we will deal with these 12 parts that Ezra is speaking about in the book of Baruch. We will show you what these 12 parts is. All of them are all intermingling with themselves. To this day, it's exactly what you are saying happening this day. The judgment, the plague from the Most High God. Read.
They therefore set their house in order and reprove their people.
And reprove your people as you are doing this day. Correcting them, telling them keep the Most High commandments. This reason why the earth is facing judgment, and there is more judgment to come. Read.
Comfort such of them as be in trouble.
Yes.
And now renounce corruption.
Yes.
14. Let go from thee mortal thoughts. Cast away the bodies of man.
Yes.
Put off now the weak nature.
Yes. The carnal things of this world, the lust of this world. That's what he's saying here. The evil lust of this world. That's the weak nature of man.
Verse 15. And set aside the thoughts that are both saving unto thee.
Yes.
And haste thee to flee from these times. 16. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done thereafter.
Read it again.
Verse 16. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter.
So the Most High is telling Ezra, there will be greater evil that will be done at the end of days than that is done during your time, Ezra. In the last days, evil will increase. That's what I say. For yet greater evils in plural, than those which thou hast seen happen in meaning your time, Ezra, shall be done hereafter, meaning at the end of days. Verse 17. Read it. Let's go.
For look how much the world shall be weaker through it. So much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. So
much more evil shall increase upon them that dwell on the earth, that dwell therein. That's the earth. Evil will increase as you are seeing this day. That's what Christ is saying. That's why Christ said in Matthew 24 as well. Christ said, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Abound means to become full. Christ said, give me that precept. I'm not making this up. Ezra is saying what Christ is saying. Matthew 24 verse 12. 7 verse 3.
KJV book of Matthew 24 verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives.
So as Christ sat upon the Mount of Olives, read.
The disciples came unto him privately.
So Christ's disciples came unto him privately and said what?
Tell us, when shall these things be?
When shall this judgment be?
And what shall be the sign of thy coming?
And what shall be the sign of your coming? That is the end of days. Read.
And of the end of the world.
And of the end of the world. So what sign should we look out for that the world is coming to an end? Verse 12.
Verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound.
So Christ said, and because iniquity or sin shall abound, another of our abound is full. That's why Ezra says, so much as evil increase upon them that dwell in the earth. Because iniquity shall abound. Let's go.
The love of many shall wax cold.
The love of many shall wax cold. Love is commandment. Christ said in John 14:15, if you love me, keep my commandment. Because people will not keep the commandment in truth. So they'll be hard-hearted. There'll be wickedness and evil on the earth. As you are seeing this day. Ezra, let's go back there. Verse 17, 2 Ezra 14:17, let's go. We don't have time.
For look how much the world shall be weaker through age. So much the more shall evils increase. So much the more shall evils, in plural, increase. That's why the Most High God was showing Ezra the 12 parts. As a sign. Because of sin, transgression. Because Israelites will not return back to the commandments. So evil will increase on the earth because of them all over the world. Read. Upon them that dwell therein. 18. For the time is fled far away, and listen is at hand. For now, hasted division to come. Which
For now, haste the vision to come is one slack. Not be so. As you are seeing that vision will not slack. As you are seeing happening now, that's where part will go into the next part. The Most High will. Part 3 of this lesson. Read again verse 18.
For the time is fled far away, and listen is hard at hand. For now, hasted division.
For now, hasted divisions to come, which you have seen. Any question? Any question? So if there be no question, wonders of our highest creation, the third part, we'll continue next Sabbath in part 3. Shalom, everyone.
Shalom.
Ka, Tabarat, Wahalo, Kadash, Haya, Shamka, Ahaya, Walo, Hawalam Jam, Walo, Hawalam Jam, Bahashem, Yashaya, Aisha, Shamayam, Waharataza, Alashadia, Barakata, Tawana, Haman, Bona Shahala, Mighty men, Bona Shahala,
Kwam ya shahala.
Daughters of Zion, Bona Shahala.
Kwam ya shahala.
You ready? Jacob is one. Choose that one, shadow one.